Morning, Jem. As promised, this is a second attempt at doing a little video to show you what's what. So, simple 2D image I made in CAD. So this is a solid line, and these are obviously solid lines. We won't go through the design and drawing of that in a minute. We'll save that for another time. So open up Cambam. Open in the top corner there. And it's a DXF file is what Kanban recognises. There we go. One thing to note, obviously everything in the CNC is done by coordinates, so this corner here is 0, 0, 0. You've got to watch out on where you position your workpiece because it makes a difference when you're actually using your machine. And because that's saved as 0, 0, 0, when you open it in Kanban again it puts it at 0, 0, 0. First thing we're going to do, I'm going to highlight the text only, and we're going to hit profile at the top here. What profile does, it either machines on the inside or the outside of the lines. So this is where all the settings are down here. So the first one we've got the option to change is the inside outside. We'll leave it at outside for a second. Let me just turn that compressor off. Next we come down, clearance pane. Set to 3 as standard. That is how high above the workpiece the tool will travel when it's not engaged. So how fast will it move around above the workpiece? So for example, I've got a couple of jigs and they've got some clamps on them. So my tool needs to be 20mm above the work surface in order to clear them clamps and not hit it. So you just need to be careful of that one. Depth increment, that's how deep the tool will make a pass each run. So we'll do 1mm. So every time it does a pass, it will take off 1mm of 1mm. Each time, we won't go through some of these other settings. Target depth, that's a minus because obviously you're going into the workpiece. So say that's -2. Obviously, because you've got the depth increments of 1, it will go around and cut everything twice to go down to 2mm. Cut feed rate, obviously how fast the tool is going to go around and cut. Plunge feed rate, that's how fast the tool plunges into the work. It'd be a lot less than the cut feed rate, normally half. We won't go into details on these because these will obviously change depending on whether you're cutting wood, metal, what wood, what tool you're using. Apologise for the noise, the heavens have opened, there's a lot of rain. You will maybe need to use lead in. I won't go into it now, but what that means is rather than the tool going straight into the workpiece, it goes along and down at the same time, which can be quite useful. Next thing you want to change is the direction. I like to use climb, it gives a better finish. Change roughing to finish. Spindle speed rate, I think yours is 5,000 RPM on the Nova. On this particular, I could be using a profile. This is how fast a step over. So once the tool's gone round and cut out and it moves over to do its next pass, it's how quick do you want that step over. There's no need for it to be a plunge, it can be a cut feed rate to make it fast. Tool diameter, we'll go for 2mm tool, and because you've got an ATC, you'll be using the tool number. For this we'll just do a tool 1. Once that's done, you come up the side here, right mouse button on profile, generate toolpath, and you can see you've got this blue line around the edge which shows you what the tool's going to do, so you can see exactly what it's going to do. And if we scroll up here and do the inside outside, change that to inside, again right mouse button, generate toolpath. It's now put the toolpath on the inside of the line. And if you're happy with that, right mouse button, produce G code. Yeah, save that there. And if we go into mach3, we want to load it up, and it's there. You do need to go and edit the code. the code the Cambam creates it's okay, but I think there's 2 or 3 lines at the very top that just need a tiny tweak. So we hit edit. So the first thing Kanban likes to do is make the tool go down to 3 millimeters above the workpiece. Your what was that called? What do they call that? Your clearance pane. So what will happen here is your tool will go down to 3 millimeters when it does a tool change. So it'll go down and then come back up to do a tool change, which is completely pointless. So take out that. I like to put it under the once the spindle started and paste it there. The other thing you need to do is M6 is macro 6, which is the tool change macro, and tool 1. Because you've got an ATC, you need to put G43 under there each time, which turns on the tool length offset. So now the code goes, do a tool change to tool 1, turn on the tool length offset, work in millimeters, start the spindle at whatever spindle speed rate, and then run the code. Close, save, and you can hit go in Mac, and that will literally cut it out perfectly for you. That's all you need to do. So it's very simple. Next, we'll just delete that. We're going to highlight the text again, and we're going to use a profile. And what a profile does is it cuts out everything in the inside of the lines. So there's no inside outside because it is always on the inside. So you've got your clearance pane again, your depth increments. We're going to cut 2 millimeters each time. Target depth -4. You've got your feed rates there. I won't change them for this, but like I say, it will depend on what you're doing. I like to use climb, finish, spindle speed rate. And what we're going to do is change the step over from 0.4 to 0.5. So that's, once it's done a pass, it's coming to do the next one, how much it moves over and engages the tool. So I like to do the tool at 50% engagement. It reduces the amount of passes and just speeds up the cutting process a little bit. And yeah, step over won't cut. Tool diameter, we'll see how 2 millimeter comes out. Tool number again, we'll put it as 1 for this purpose. Right mouse button on the pocket at the top, generate toolpath, and you can see it's going around on the inside to cut it out. One thing to note, if you use, we'll change that tool diameter to 4 millimeters. Right mouse button, generate toolpath. If you're using too big a tool for the job, what you'll get is these gaps, and what that means is the tool is too big to fit between the lines, so it won't cut there. So that's something you very much need to watch out for when you're doing text and bits like that. For sort of fine machining, is the size of your tool. Nobody likes a small tool gem. So if we go down to the diameter, create that to 2. Yeah, put that as 2 millimeter. We're back. Right mouse button, produce G code, save it. Open up mach3, close that. We're going to load up our new one, which was a pocket. And there we go, it's all there. Same as last time, hit edit. We're going to take out that go to 3 millimeters. We're going to put in a G43 under the tool change command. Once the spindle started, we're going to say, yep, go to 3 millimeters. Close, save. And once again, that is ready to roll straight away. We're going to close this, delete this, and this time we are going to select the entire workpiece, do a pocket again, and this will pocket out everything except the text, so the text will be left standing proud. Clearance pane we'll leave as is, depth increment 2 millimeters each time, target depth -4. Your feed rates you'll need to change, building direction climb, roughing to finish, spindle speed rate, step over, we want 0.5, step over, yeah, we want that to cut feed rate. Tool diameter, we're going to purposely go with a 3.2, which is a standard one you can buy from screw fix, tool number 1. And with the right mouse button, generate a toolpath. What you will probably see you can see it's cut everything out there, left text, but yeah, as expected, there's an issue. It's not cutting between these bits here. Basically, the tool is too big to fit between the lines, so it's going to cut out here, but not here. So this is size of tool is very important. Just ask your wife, Jem. So if we change that to a 2mm, which is the biggest or the smallest, should I say, router bit you can purchase, generate toolpath. Taking its time. What you can see now is it's solved that issue, so it's going to machine out the entire lot with no gaps. So the size of the tool is just really important when you're sort of cutting out, sort of doing fine cutting. Obviously, the smaller the tool you use, the more passes it's going to have to do in order to machine out the workpiece. You're happy with that? Once again, produce G-code, save it. Oh, we've already done a pocket, so yeah, that's fine. Oh, I bet the pocket's still open, it's going to crash. Will this work? My computer's a bit slow, it's not the world's fastest computer. Right, that's hopefully done. If we load that back in mach3, pocket, there we go, we can see it there. You would just need to go in, remove that G0 to 3 and put a G43 under there, but again that's ready to go. The only other thing we'll do is we'll do an engrave. So if we delete that, so say we want to engrave the text, so engraving is obviously nothing other than on the lines. We've got an engraving option there, so we've got no inside outside. You've got your normal settings. Again, for engraving obviously it'd be very shallow, so 0.2mm for example. Again, depends what you're doing. If you're doing metal, you're going to be engraving aluminium for example, you're going to be running very slow. Doesn't matter about your tool diameter, you can leave it at 0 because whatever tool you put in, it's only ever going to go around them lines, it doesn't make any odds. And your tool number, will just put in 1 there. Generate that. You're not going to see much because obviously you're on lines and there's already a line there. You'll just note these dotted sort of red lines, which are just the moves between. Once it's completed the S, it will go on to the A and blah blah blah, the next piece. We can produce a G code, save that, go into Mac, close, load, and engrave, and there we go, that's our engraved text. Again, edit, we're going to remove that, put a G43 under there, and put that Z3 there, and you could hit go, and that would run and come out perfect on there. So I hope that's a quick little demo, Gem, a little bit fast on how to use Cambam, but as you can see, really simple, really easy to produce usable G code in a few minutes flat. So yeah, good luck.